These last two songs and the song that I'm going to show you now was done with the Arturia drum brute. It's a super cool little drum machine, but that bad boy needs some help. When it comes in, it needs help. It needs to, you know what I mean? It needs some EQ. It needs a little reverb. It needs a little love. Hey, what's up, guys and gals? Jesse here from Long Lost Robots. I hope you're making some beautiful music out there. Today is podcast number 5. I'm so excited to be here. Today, we are going to be hopping in the computer so I can show you some visuals and some audio of what we're talking about. And what are we talking about? Today, I want to talk about when is my song ready to be mixed? I want to talk about when is my song ready to be automated, and I want to talk about just general cleanliness and just getting ready for the song to be finished. Now, there of course is no right way to mix and master. It's just all about what you want, especially in the mixing world. Mastering's a little different, but when it comes to mixing, your workflow is going to be your workflow. I want to talk about my workflow today, so maybe it might affect and help your workflow. For me, I like to mix on the way as I record and produce. Now, that if you can knock out a song in 1 or 3 days and get all the recording done and instruments and vocals, of course, do that. Get that done, and then you can start from there. That is not always the case with a lot of us bedroom producers. We have jobs, we have boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, kids. I definitely have a wife and child myself, so I can't just plop in here and get everything done completely in one shot. It takes time. I'm also using physical analog gear, and that needs a lot of help sometimes, especially when it comes to synthesizers. It needs reverb, delay, a little bit of EQ, maybe some compression. So, having said that, as I go along, um, you know, I need to sound design as I go. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start EQing a little bit. I'm going to get that kick the way I need it to sound, before I maybe even get the bass going. Let's say I have the drums and bass. Well, I can start mixing that down a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I can start that. If I don't have time to get those guitars done, I mean, guys, we got a limited amount of time here. So I'm producing and I'm producing sound as well. I'm doing sound design as well. These last two songs and the song that I'm going to show you now was done with the Arturia drum brute. It's a super cool little drum machine, but that bad boy needs some help. When it comes in, it needs help. It needs to, you know what I mean. It needs some EQ. It needs a little reverb. It needs a little love. And you might add some distortion on a kick. You might double up on a kick. You might do all kinds of crazy things with the snare, and with some delays and reverbs and automation. And you know these things need to start. You need to start some of these things. It can be very overwhelming if you have a song with a large track count and you're trying to EQ all of this after everything is recorded. Now, again, if you can get things done in a few days, even a week's time, and then you start recording in sound design, hell yes, my friends. But it was a month or so before I even had the vocals on this song, because I mean, I put things off. I don't finish all my songs in a sense, right? Of course, I almost finish all my songs, but you know what I mean? Like I put things off. I procrastinated. I was slow. I made excuses for myself. And this song has taken a little bit of time. And I took a little bit of a break too, because as I've talked about before, why am I making music? What am I doing? It's all going to be about your style. But for me, I have to get sound design going. Got those drums sounding good. Got the bass sounding good. Got my guitars. What reverbs do I want? What delays do I want? And then finally, I snuck those vocals in at the end. That's the way I do everything anyways. I might have like a dummy track going just to kind of get the feeling of the song and what's going to happen vocally. But I do my vocals last, and everything else is usually produced up to that point as well. Again, not set in stone. Back in the day, I was riding the faders, like literally riding the faders, and now I automate that. So when do I start automating? When do I start EQing? Well, EQing is if you can get the song going, we'll do that and EQ after. If you have to, wait in between recording sessions, start getting some things going. And when you start adding things, you can adjust a little bit and, find the room that you need to sneak some of those instruments in. But, to me, that's the way I work. I have to start doing sound design and EQing immediately. Because I don't have time to record all the time. Sometimes I just kind of come in the studio and start making things sound a little tight, right? And then now I'm at the position to where I'm going to add a little bit of synthesizer or some chorusy type vocals to the end of this song, and I need a little bit of sound design in the breakdown because it breaks down so much it gets a little quiet. Other than that, I'm ready for this song to be done, and that's why I'm also, why I'm shooting these videos so I can share where I'm at this point. It was a perfect time for me to share some knowledge and some information. So, anyways, guys, let's hop in the DAW. Let's check out what I'm talking about. Let's have some fun. All right, guys. So we're in the DAW. Let's start with the first things, looks. And I know that may not seem important, but it is. We need to talk about cleanliness and color coordination if you can, and all of them do. So let's talk about that really quick. So here's my whole song. And you can see it looks very condensed, and you're thinking, wow, it's not quite a whole lot, you know what I mean? But guys, that everything is in a sum all of your tracks up, and bam, here's the drum brute from Arteria. It's a cool piece of machinery. Everything's on separate tracks. It has a 10-track output on the drum machine. So anything that I create in the drum machine, I can just record on a separate track and start doing sound design. So I sound designed everything. Everything's color coordinated. I actually doubled the kick up. I didn't do that to the snare. Maybe next time I will, or maybe I can still do that if I feel things are kind of lacking in certain areas. Maybe I will. But right now I'm at that time to start going track by track and make sure everything's EQ'd the way I want. Everything is at a set kind of a level just to kind of give me a good rough mix, like it's a rough level mix. And that way, once I start getting everything EQ'd and I'm happy, I can start automating things. And even then, you might need to automate some EQ, or maybe do some leveling out, but do some EQing just to kind of level things out where things are leveling up and down volume wise, right? So you're going to be going after things throughout the whole mixing process, but right now I'm ready to be automating. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I do feel I am. And then once I start automating the levels of the volume, I can start seeing, okay, is there any more anomalies EQ wise or compression wise? Have I over compressed things and got carried away? These days I'm doing a lot less compression and I'm doing more automation, and I recommend you do that. I recommend you automate your volumes over so much compression and trying to tame your volumes through compression, because you can just ruin a sound. And believe me, back in the day, these guys didn't have 1,500 compressors at their disposal. So think about that and do a little bit less compression and more volume automation. So look at my drums. My drums are just nice and ready to go. Everything is ready. These are very simple pattern drums, so I know they're not impressive, but it's just a very simple song. I have the pad here. It's ready to go as well. I have all of my stuff ready to go. My bass, it's doubled up. Everything goes through a sum, of course, ready to be automated. Like, I might want it a little quieter in the verse. Might want it to beef up in the choruses, just to start giving the song some dynamics, because the song is pretty damn tight, right? We're going to press play in a second. I have my guitars. All my guitars are in separate tracks, whether it be because there's 3 separate, guitar riffs. There's literally an intro breakdown, or like an intro bridge riff. There's a verse riff. There's a chorus riff. They are all 3 separate riffs, giving the song some change and some dynamics. That way, it's not the same thing throughout the whole song, right, guys? So we're really good. EQ wise, we're very good. Volume wise, everything's ready to go. I even have my solos, the JUX solo. So here's my MIDI track. Here's my first track of synthesizer. Here's a second track of synthesizer, right? And everything is just tight and ready to go, color coordinated. I can just find things very easily. My vocal sum is ready to go. I don't like the color blue. That's like the default color. I hate that color. But everything's ready to go. Have your song clean workspace. I do have some editing to do in the vocals, and that's all going to get done as I feel that the vocals are where I want. It's just time to start going track by track and really making sure things are clean and edited and clean EQ wise. And what I mean by clean is making sure that you don't have all these anomalies, these things just kind of lagging around in your guitars, making noise, all this stuff. You think there's nothing there. There are things there that make that are just going to pop out and you won't hear it, or it's going to make things sound like junk. It's not professional. Get them cleaned up. Get everything cleaned up through your your vocal track. So if you're going to have it through here, cut it up, guys. Like, just cut it up. come through here, trim it down, trim all your stuff up. Okay, just trim it up. I'm even gonna just bring that back because I'm gonna do all that one by one. So you start going through all your tracks, get them EQ'd, get them compressed, get a nice static mix going volume wise, have all your instruments recorded. Like I said, I got a couple things to do, but I'm ready for this song to be finished, guys. I want to get this song finished by the end of the year. It's going to be 21. Christmas is here. It's December, guys. It's December like 15th almost. I want this song finished. And I know when you get to these points, you get tired. You start thinking of other melodies. You start thinking about other songs. And that is not how you finish songs. It's time to go through every track. Again, EQ, static volume mix, and then it's time to start automating. And then you can start touching up on your EQs that you need. If you need to start tightening things down, you can add a little compression. You know what I mean? That's when your songs will get finished. And the song is at that point now. So, guys, it's just my opinion. Let's go ahead and just talk about really quick the intro to the beginning to the there's almost two intros. It's the swell and then the guitar intro into a verse into a chorus. We're gonna listen to the whole thing right now, and maybe I'll chime in a little bit here. Hopefully the buffering is corrected. It's gonna start with a nice punch. I don't want it to go too long. All those guitars working together. It's a nice static level mix. I can see you're one of us. Maybe take those drums down a little bit. My verse guitars might need to go down a little bit. Start automating the guitars to swell up right here at that count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? They stole our faces from us now, and we're all living in a beautiful dystopia. So there's all kinds of ear candy and all kinds of automation that you can do to add little bells and whistles to your song. Now's the time to start adding them. I've already added a little bit, like some delay throws on the snare and some ping ponging and a few effects. And I already did that because, again, I need to get this song finished. I can't wait to record my guitars to start automating just a little bit of ear candy. And that's okay to automate because you can adjust those levels later on. They're not set in stone. Right, guys? So I hope you've enjoyed this episode today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about, where's your song at the end? You're so close to the finish line, guys. Don't give up now. Don't start another song. Please do not start another song. Guys, this song is finished. It's ready to go. I'm just going to add a little something to the last chorus. That way it gives the listener one more thing to listen to. You know what I mean? So that breakdown breaks down really hard and it gets really quiet. It swells right back up. And I'm going to give a little something to that last chorus. And that way it engages the listener's ear. Guys, your song's so close to be ready to be finished. I know you can do this. Don't start another song. Get your song finished. Comment below. What's your workflow like? Do you start with getting everything recorded before you touch, any EQ or anything like that? What do you like to do? Help somebody out in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Jesse. I hope you're making some beautiful music. We'll talk to you again soon, guys. Take care.